Hey, so this is an update video to tell you about all the new stuff in Sophie's Dice 1.6. It's probably going to be a long one. I'll try to keep things brief, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'll start out with new features and stuff, then go on to like new images, new dice shapes, and end on the fixes. So we're just starting with the stuff that, like, if you use this a lot, like, maybe this is the stuff that you care about and then you can click away later. Boo, boo, boo. Anyway, so one thing that's been requested a lot is being able to like spawn multiple dice without like waiting for one to settle. So like I might roll this out and then it's got a result, and then I roll another one and that's like two results in the result history, and it's a little bit awkward. Let me just see the roll history. I've got all of this from testing before. Anyway, but yeah, it's adding extra results. So now if you're dragging a dice, you can just right click on another one to add it to to add it to your hand. So no dice have been rolled yet, but then I can roll and it all goes in one. It goes in one go. Also, while you're dragging dice, you can also press hotkeys for dice. Don't forget, you can add hotkeys for your dice. So like I've got I press 8 and it spawns a d8. And that can just add those to the hand now, rather than what it used to do, which was just, spawn them wherever the mouse was at the time. Boo, boo, boo. Anyway, that's that. Another feature is you can copy the results. So the result here is 82. Let's get like a 48 or something like that. Yeah. Okay, 48. We got 17. I've added a shortcut. You'll need to customize it, but once you do, you can press it and it will copy the results in text that can be pasted. By default, it's using Markdown, so it's good for Discord, Roll20, I think, things like that. You can change the format in the results setting, but you can also copy the results just by boom, right-clicking the result in the roll history, and that is there. So that should make it a bit easier to play with people online over chat, that kind of thing. There is a setting for ambiguous numbers. Obviously, some dice, some numbers look the same as other numbers upside down. So a 6 looks like an upside down 9. A common thing dice do is they will be underlined or dotted. And wow, by default, this is underlining in my app. But now you can change how it appears. So if I spawn new dice, they will now be dotted. Boop, boop, boop. Let's get a 6, please. There we go. So it's dotted. Or you can say don't have any changes at all. Like I would normally say don't do this, but if you have dice rotating to read, you know that they're always going to be turned the correct way. Anyway, that's an option if you prefer things differently. And obviously, if you want specific settings, you can go into the dice that you want to edit, and then say like, oh, I'm going to have a string value of 6 dot for that. Or you could, have like an underscore there, or I think it supports BB code or HTML. Let's just try a U. Yes, okay, there we go. And like I could make that italic if I wanted. So wow, you have options there. Another setting is the result order. So let's just throw out something with some string values and some number values. So we've thrown out some dice and some coins, 25 number, and then 3 heads, 2 tails. If I change the result order, I can have the strings come first, or I can have the strings just hide the numbers completely. If there are only number values, it will still show the number value. Oh, that's a bug. Well, I'll fix that in the next update. But it should at least work with expressions. Let me just check this. 4 coin plus 3d6. So we've got the number, we've got strings. Strings first, then the number. Strings hide numbers, but then I just do 3d6 and it still shows the numbers. Okay, I've debugged it. It'll be fixed soon. Don't worry about it. But that option is there. This is very niche thing for like when that's useful. So the default is just numbers come up first, then it lists the string values. Okay, another feature is, so one thing is that like if there's 100 d20, this is obviously silly, but it takes a minute for everything to settle, gather up, and reroll. Like there's only one person who thought this is an issue, like it takes too long in the automated dice roller for me to get my results out. There is a time rate setting now, so if I run it at triple speed, everything happens much faster. Boo 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 boo. But it's good for just roll with advantage. Hang on, 2d20 please. But if instead of time rate triple, we can have it at half rate. Slow motion, like it increases the suspense, so that's an option as well. Anyway, I'll keep it at normal speed for now. Okay, I think that's it for the new features for the most part. Let's have us a look-see at new images. Almost got each one. There's 4 new dice images, a bullet, like a little no sign, which I've been meaning to add for a while, magnifying glass, and a gun. These are just things that I thought would be useful for a variety of games for when you're customizing your own dice. So they are in there as an option for when you're like doing that. I've also added tally mark images from 1 to 10. So if you want tallies instead of pips, you can do that. Like it's a bit silly on like a d10. Like it would normally be like there are dice that have tally marks, and they tend to be long dice that are rolled. But I mean, all dice are rolled, but you know, whatever. Anyway, the tallies are there. There's also a bunch of new dice shapes. I'll go through like the new kinds of shapes. So one is these like spheres, which wow, which I have some of these d6s in one of my dice bags back there, but I'm not pulling it out right now. The idea is it's a sphere, and inside the sphere is a void of a particular shape with a weight inside of it. So as the ball rolls around, the weight shifts to different points inside of the void, and then it will settle on, you know, a number on top. So even though it's round, it's gonna, you know, settle on a specific number. So I've added a variety of these. That's a very spinny one. And you know, just if you find that interesting, you can have that. I've also added a large variety of spinners. The old spinners are still in the app, although I've changed the name to the names to like by what? Hang on a second. What have I changed the names to? Like my brain is fully giving up on me right now. Sort by category. It'll be in the spinners, somewhere around here. There we go, yeah. Spinahedron. Is that what I really called it? Spinahedron? Anyway, yeah, they're bipyramids and trapezohedra, so they're like hedra, so, whoa! But technically they're not spinners because they are double-sided, and it matters which side they land on. Whereas a spinner can land on any side, it's fine. So yes, there are a variety of spinners, teetotums, and fall flat teetotums. So the spinners are like this, they spin, they land flat. And I don't know why that's a second bug I've found in this video, so that'll be fixed in the next update too. Great. Just that it doesn't rotate to show you the number, it's rotating away from you to show the number right now, so that's wrong. Yeah, so there's spinners, there's teetotums, which are this kind of shape. At least that one's rotating correctly. And fall flat teetotums, which are like they're probably very familiar if you're used to playing with a dreidel. Boop, boop, boop. So, wow. Honestly, like, whilst I was working on this, I looked up the history of teetotums and dreidels, and it's really fascinating and surprising. Like, there's not a lot that's written about it, but it's still interesting. So look it up if that's something that you think it might be cool. I've done those. This is just a simple set. Like, I had a set with recessed faces, so I've got a set with protruding faces now. Like, that's not that exciting. Prisms. Oh, I spent so long studying like whether this kind of die could be made fair. So like it's a classic thing, and I've probably spoken about it on this channel before even. But wow, the thought is, like, if you have a cylinder or a prism, like, if it's very tall, it's most likely to land, like, on its side, and if it's very flat, it's most likely to land on the top or the bottom. So, like, how tall does it need to be for it to have, like, an equal chance of landing on any face? And like, for a long time I had thought, because there's like a number file video about this, Percy Diaconis, you know, goes into detail about the issue, and I thought, yeah, like, this guy's, like, clearly thought it through and he's cracked it. It's not possible for it to be fair. But then, yeah, like, earlier on this year, I was rethinking about it, and I was like, but maybe, like, surely, it can be done. So I decided to, like, take a stab at the issue, just to you know, properly understand it. And my understanding is that he was right, and these are not fair shapes, except under, like, a single set of circumstances. So, like, I believe that these are like a different kind of fairness to unfair dice and fair dice. Like, there is a third kind, which is circumstantially fair dice. And I've actually added this to the shape selection. If we, wow, because before you could sort by category or face count, now you can sort by fairness type. So I've, like, made this so you can see which dice would be fair to roll in real life, which are those ones, boop, 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 which is most of the dice in the app, I guess. Wow, I've got shoes on. There's this new set, which I'm about to talk about, and the dice which are physically unfair. So this is a circumstantial specific fairness, and the basic description is dice can fit into this category if they are radially symmetrical and and have and are symmetrical on, like, mirror symmetrical, like, freaking. Anyway, yeah, like if it's top and bottom are the same and it's radially symmetrical as well, then it is in this circumstance. And basically the idea is, wow, that there is, let me just pull this up, a pentagonal one. So this would be like a D7, assuming it's fair. Oh, I can't stretch it. Right, yes, but, like, assuming you, you know, stretch it or whatever, like, if it's very wide, it's always going to land on one of the sides and never on the top of the bottom. If you make it very flat, it's always going to land on the top of the bottom, not the sides. So, like, there is a thing where the chances of it landing on any given side equally is, you know, like, that is a length that you can find. But that length changes depending on the circumstances in which you roll the die. So, like, if you change the physical properties of the dice table that you're rolling on, you roll it with more than one dice. Like, you change the number of dice that you're rolling at the same time. You change the method by which you select its starting rotation and physics. So it is fair in a very, very small circumstance, which ultimately means it's really not fair. But also, like, all real physical dice are ultimately like going to be there, and like unfair dice are like very much more biased, and these are kind of like somewhere in the middle. Anyway, long story short, I decided they're still cool shapes and I wanted to include them in my app, so here they are. So it's prisms, every face is numbered, the cylinder also, wow, exists, which is a D3. Anyway, so sorry about the info dump, but I just thought that was interesting. This is another set of dice. This one I've wanted to include in my app for a long time. What it is wow, like another set of framed dice, but the frame is completely linear. It passes through each vertex of the shape only one time. So you can follow this all the way around and it will pass through every vertex on the die. And like, I just thought that was cool. That's all. And I'm allowed to include things just because I think that they are cool. There is also a set of framed barrel dice, which are unlike like, I already have like barrel dice in the app, but they have inverted colliders for the odd numbered ones, so they wouldn't work physically. Like, if there was a real version of those, they would need to be numbered differently, like numbered on the edges instead of numbered on the faces. Whereas these are all numbered on the faces because, because the interior part is rotated, it's offset to the convex hull of the overall shape. So you can see, like, this is basically a pentagonal prism, but you know, the inside is a flat face. So it's equivalent to like labeling like this edge that would be here, but it's on a face, so it's nicer to read. Anyway, there's a full set of these, and they go way high up. The much probably higher than you need, but I think that they are cute and they are an option if you want to use those. We've also got like some new curved face solids. This is an octahedron with only 2 sides. Wow! A dodecahedron with 6 sides. A rhombic dodecahedron with 6 sides. I think we've already had a dodecahedron with 6 sides. That's a rhombic dodecahedron. This is a 10-sided icosahedron, so it's wow! I'm sorry. Boom. I'm sorry. Boom. And a variety of other things. I've got a new Fiji, which is a new kind of category of Fiji. There might be more. I can't remember like my exploration of this particular set of shapes, but there's a new one. I have also like some interesting anisahedral shapes that I have added. There's not really much to say about them. I think they're interesting. The D22 in particular is a lot nicer than the existing D22 shape that was in the app. So like, if you have a D22, maybe use that one instead. Like, you might like it more. I also have a rhombic icosahedron. It is stretched to make it more round. So it is not like a true rhombic icosahedron, which has regular faces. But it is a cool shape and I like it. Wouldn't be fair in real life, but is fair in the app, of course. So there's that. A new D10, which was just one that I've been meaning to add for a while. And if you're a fan of fractals, this is a Menga sponge. So it's got numbers inside the numbers, and it goes in for a little bit. Like, I tried to have like more iterations of it so that it would like go further and further in, but like it very quickly becomes unreasonable for like a little dice app to have such detailed fractal models, so I have not. That is basically it. Like, there's 78 new shapes in total, and that brings all of the like shapes in the app to 464. So I'm rapidly approaching the 500, which is yay. So yeah, that's all of the new features and the new shapes. I'll just go over the fixes. One is like if you make a new die, whoop whoop whoop. Let's say this is testy die, and it has a 3, a 10, and a 5. I don't know, like this for testing. And I roll for testy die just to make sure that works. Okay, so if I wanted to test this in the old version, it would assume that the die has hundreds of faces. You'd need to close the app and reopen it. I fixed that. It's now testing the actual die that you have made. So if you're, developing your own board games and you're trying to design dice for them and understand the probabilities, this is going to work. And also, that curve is wild. Like I don't think that this would be an intuitive thing to make for your game. What does it look like with the? I mean, I guess it's not so weird if you look at it a different way, but still. Anyway, the statistic stuff works. Also, value replacement. Let's do D6 value replace. Blah blah blah. Less than 4 equals. Actually, yeah, less than 4 equals 2, comma. Buddy. And then a less than 5 equals 10. And okay, that's doing on the Manga Sponge, but what it would do before would make everything less than 5 into everything, boom boom, everything into every it would make everything into 10. But oh wait, it's done it again. Okay, never mind. So I was going to talk about like how I fixed this issue, but it has not. It has not fixed it. Wait a second. No, that's not right. Is that... Okay, I'll look into that another time. Whatever. So that was the main thing that I wanted to talk about. How I fixed that very niche issue. It's not actually fixed. So pretend I never said anything. Anyway, that's 1.6. Obviously, given the things that I've bumped into on this recording this, I will have to make some adjustments. So there'll probably be a 1.61 before too long, which is an exhausting prospect, to be honest. But yeah, this is live now on Windows, Mac, Linux, and Android. It is not live on iOS because in order to put it up on the App Store, well, in order to test it on my iPad, I would need to get a new MacBook, and I cannot afford a new MacBook right now. So I will try to like upload this to the App Store if I can, but it won't have been tested. So like we'll see how that goes. I'll try maybe and get the fixes it done before I even approach that. But if it never happens, then you know that I wasn't able to figure it out. So like there's just only so much I can do when Apple developing for Apple. It costs a bunch of money. So anyway, that's 1.6. Hopefully something in it is useful or interesting to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.